Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the Veteran Influencer channel. Once again, my name is Chris, and today we will be speaking about a subject that some may consider triggering depending on your relationship with this particular subject. So hopefully you're willing to stick around a little bit and be willing to listen to the discussion on this particular subject. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section down below. Alright everybody, like I said in the introduction, my name is Chris, and for those of you that don't know, I am currently an active duty Marine on my last year of 20 years for retirement. And as I said in the introduction, I want to speak about a subject that some would deem triggering depending on your relationship with this particular subject, and that subject is unaliving and the impacts of it. And the reason why I call it unaliving is because for some obvious reasons, some platforms actually demonetize for certain trigger words or will actually stop the video from being pushed out. So maybe later on in the video, I might actually say certain words that I wouldn't do toward the beginning of the video. Let's start off by asking a question, and feel free to put whatever comment about this subject in the comment section, or you can remain completely anonymous. But I do think it's important that these type of conversations be brought up. So my question is, how many of you at one point have either contemplated or known someone that has contemplated or committed non-aliving? I haven't necessarily contemplated it, but I have known a lot of people that have actually contemplated and committed unaliving. And I think it's really important that we kind of talk about the impact and the devastation that is left behind after that particular act has occurred. And probably like a lot of you guys as well, I have known many of my friends, many of people that have run across my path in life that have actually committed unaliving. And I could say firsthand that one of the many thoughts that comes to mind whenever that happens is, what could I have done differently? What could I have done to prevent that? Possibly. Maybe not guaranteed, but what is something I could have done to maybe impact their way of thinking for that particular day, that month, to maybe they would think twice about actually committing that act. Now, I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. There's probably nothing you could have done, but it does not stop the fact that that is something that is a common occurrence amongst people when that does happen. Could I have called more? Could I have supported them in some type of way? Could I have seen the signs coming? Could I have been a little bit more involved in their life to maybe they would have thought, to maybe they could have had a second thought about possibly not committing that act? The guilt that lives in those that remain here when that happens. And I'm not trying to be selfish about this, I'm just trying to give a perspective. So I told you guys in the beginning, this may be triggering to some, and hopefully you don't think I'm trying to use this as an opportunity to gain clout, because that's not what I'm about here on this channel whatsoever. I speak about a lot of very difficult subjects that a lot of people get triggered about, but I believe it's very important that these conversations get had, because a lot of things get hashed out, a lot of emotions get out the way and dealt with because of the subject that I speak on. So some other things that come in mind when it comes to what could I have done differently? Could I have apologized for something that maybe was a little less significant, but I decided to draw it out a little bit? Could I have reached out to another service or another person that could have maybe stepped in when I seen certain signs of depression, certain signs of isolation, certain signs of showing where things just didn't matter to them as much? So like I said, regardless of what's actually true, these have been some thoughts in a lot of people's minds that are remaining behind after something like that happens. Some other effects. For me personally, every time I see signs or things that I may perceive as signs of maybe a specific occurrence that happened before, which led to that actual act of unaliving themselves, I become very antsy and on edge. Almost as if I feel like I always have to be trying to do something, always having to be extra involved with them. And a lot of times that leads to me calling people's phone a lot, texting them, seeing what they're doing, trying to hang out, trying to always be around them, and making sure that they know that people love them. Now, I know some people may take that as annoying. It seems like in 2023, 2024, a lot of people don't even like talking on the phone anymore. I've noticed that. And it's not just me, because I've noticed that other people tell me about this all the time. They try calling people, and a lot of people don't like to answer the phone. They'd rather just text. But nothing is worse than the feeling of when those phone calls stop and you realize why they stopped. Then you start appreciating those phone calls and wish you were still able to have those conversations with those people that are no longer here with us. Being antsy and overprotective in those particular type situations is something that I don't think I'll ever be able to get over, because it's happened all too often. And like I said for the first point, you always look back and say, what could I have done differently? I am determined to never have to ask myself that question again. I never again want to know that feeling of, did I leave it all out there on the table, or did I hold back? And is there something I could have done differently or should have done that I didn't do, even though I knew I probably should have did it? Now, I know this is going to be probably one of the more controversial points that I make in this video, but I do think that it is a legit emotion that happens during these type of situations. And I've talked to many people that have dealt with this particular situation, and I get a lot of the same responses as well. You get pissed off. You legitimately get pissed off. And I know it's not about you, or you don't want to make it about you as the individual, because for someone to take the time, plan out, or maybe it was spontaneous and commit that type of act, they were most likely going through a lot. But you cannot help the fact that that emotion comes up. And it's come up almost every single time that I've been left behind when someone commits this act. You get pissed off, like, why didn't they call me? Why didn't they ask me for help? Why didn't they come to me? Of all people, that was my best friend. That was someone that I just hung out with 2 days ago. That is someone I've known for years. They couldn't have given me a phone call. They couldn't have told me before it got too bad. They couldn't have asked me for advice. They couldn't have given me an opportunity to prevent something that's permanent, that's going to impact everyone that knew that person. To be completely honest, every situation that's ever happened that I've been left behind with when it comes to suicide, I still get pissed off. And call me selfish. It is what it is. But that's the facts, and I'm just being completely honest. And I don't think I'll ever get over that. I'm pissed off that you left your kids behind to have to endure this sometimes cruel world without their damn father. As hard as life is anyways, you make it difficult on your kids. You make it difficult on all the people that love you. You make it difficult on your wife. Maybe your life insurance policy does not include suicide. Maybe you left this world before you even set up a life insurance policy for yourself. So your wife, your girlfriend, significant other, and your kids get nothing. How do you think that's going to make your significant other feel when they are left to fend for the kids and raise the kids on their own? How is that fair to them? People that are left behind, we get to remember you through pictures, through videos, through certain locations we may have visited while you were here, certain activities we may have played while you were here. Maybe there's certain items that you gave that person in the past, so on and so forth. But while they're dealing with all this strife and trials and tribulations, you no longer have to deal with that. Depending on what you believe is in the afterlife, you get to move on and leave all these troubles behind while someone else picks up your slack. Now, I don't want to end this video on what some would perceive as being selfish or making it about me. This isn't about me. But what I will say is the latest person that I lost was a couple months ago. And it's someone that I've known for close to 20 years. And certain things that happen, especially now in the age of social media, whenever you lose someone, there's a bunch of RIP posts. You know, people post a bunch of videos and pictures with them in it. Same thing you guys saw with like Nipsey Hussle and a lot of the other famous people. You'll see all these pictures and posts on social media. But what starts to happen after about a week or so is those pictures and those posts, they die down, right? Because to me, those pictures and posters are intended to make people remember all the good things about you being here alive on earth. But once those pictures and videos slowly diminish off of social media, what is left to a lot of people here are a lot of emotional crumbles and dealing with a lot of sad memories. Those memories never go away. You know, one of the reasons why I made this channel, and I've been through every different type of content, from doing my Alive at 5 series, fitness videos, interviews, gaming, comedy, real talk, basketball, sports, and throughout all the subjects in which I actually posted here on my channel, there's always been one thing that connected all the content, and that has always been showing love and appreciation to those that I feel don't get enough of it, to those that have motivated and inspired me here on my channel, that have inspired me throughout life in different various aspects, whether military or whether prior to, and I don't plan on stopping when I get out. I've personally reached out to numerous people that have messaged me or that I have seen signs of depression, loneliness, financial burdens, etc. And I make sure that I maintain that relationship with them because I truly care about the outcome of their life and how it impacts others. I hear a lot of people talking about the 22 vets, and I am not going to diminish that, nor am I trying to impede on that movement. But I will say at some point we need to add to this movement. Doing 22 push-ups, posting it online is not enough. And this isn't just about vets. This is about people in general. Everything I'm saying applies to people in general. One, as the bystander, every so often, start looking down your contacts. I'm sure everybody has a bunch of contacts in their phone that they don't reach out to consistently. Some people have contacts in their phone that they haven't reached out to in a very long time. Shoot a text out, give a phone call to. Set up a time to hang out with that person because you never know what they are going through. You know, they say the person that always appears to be the happiest is usually the one that they don't see doing anything like harm to themselves. But all too often that is actually the case. When is the last time you actually asked somebody how is their day going and not allowing them to settle for saying, oh good, how is yours? Actually asking those deeper questions, specific questions with their day, asking about their family. Specific questions. Oh, you said you were gonna go do this. Did you end up doing that? No, what happened? Sometimes you have to pry a little bit, whether they like it or not, because it actually matters in the long run. Now, I can't personally say I've prevented someone from doing it, but I could also say I'm pretty sure I have. And regardless, I've been there for those that felt they were going to do that. If this video didn't do anything else for you, hopefully it brought not only awareness to those that are suffering with depression or the possibility of committing suicide, but hopefully it brought awareness to those that are thinking about it, about the impacts that it leaves on those that are left behind. It is a terrible feeling and none of us want to go through it. There are always ways, there are services, and there are people that would love to help you out, that are dying to help you out, that cannot wait to help you out, that will be there for you every waking second. And I'm looking right in the camera, all right? I may be talking to that person that this applies to right now. Reach out. That might be the reason why you choose to make a different path for yourself. Give yourself an opportunity to live. You deserve it. We all do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say I appreciate you guys listening to this video, and I know it's going to be triggering for some, but I do feel like it's something that I have inadvertently passed up on making a video on in the past. I truly feel it's very important to speak on subjects like this because it could be a matter of life and death. Reach out to those that you care about. Take every interaction that you have with another human being very seriously and appreciate when someone calls you or someone wants to hang out with that you love, because you never know when it's gonna be the last time. My name is Chris, and if this video in any way inspired you, taught you something, or made you want to reach out to someone that you love or care about, please give this video a follow, subscribe, and make sure you guys please share this video out because you never know who you're gonna inspire. Thank you guys, and I appreciate all the love and support.